Okay, welcome to the core concept of tolerance. This is a key concept in liberalism, and it's been discussed and debated over many centuries. Basically, we could define tolerance as the act of allowing or forbearance of beliefs and practices that we may not approve of oneself or one's group mightn't accept. So it's forbearance of different practices. So this could be, for example, religious practices. There have been huge disputes about different religious practices, and people have been punished, and people have been ostracized, and indeed executed, such as in the early modern period in Britain, well, in England. So liberals, of course, tend to be tolerant and tend to accept and even celebrate different moral, cultural and political ideas, and they are very keen on moral, cultural and political diversity, and we'll see why shortly. One of the earliest great liberal thinkers was perhaps Locke, who especially addressed this problem of toleration. On his letter on toleration, he argued that no king, sovereign or government could base on his or her right to rule on the truth of his religion, as it is not within the competent state to discern the religious truth or to save souls. So Queen Elizabeth I think, put this rather nicely. She said that she had no desire to make windows into men's souls. So that really religion was seen as a private matter. After all, Elizabeth I herself, although brought up a Protestant, had of course live during Catholic years. And toleration was emphasised by Locke, and he argued really that the role of the government and the state should be to protect life, liberty and property, and not to interfere really in what was essentially a private matter. If we move on, we've got the great Enlightenment thinker Voltaire, who of course wrote that fantastic book Candide. I'd recommend that as a great read. But he said this, of course, very famous quote: "I detest what you say, but I will defend to the death your right to say it." So that's quite an astringent belief in freedom of speech and the power of debate. Right, so we'll move on and develop this a bit further, as Mill does. So J.S. Mill, in his seminal book On Liberty, and another great read, perhaps not as entertaining as Voltaire's Candide, but a great classic and seminal work of political philosophy. In On Liberty, Mill justifies toleration of different ideas, different beliefs, different practices, of eccentricity, rather than a boring conformity. This is what Mill particularly was concerned about in Victorian England in the mid-19th century. He emphasised personal autonomy, which is essential for, of course, personal development, self-fulfillment and moral development. And he particularly believed that we should have vigorous debate because this benefits society, because he believed, of course, in a free market of ideas, and that the truth will emerge so that good ideas will push out bad ideas, will push out ignorance, resulting in progress as we come closer to the truth. This all assumes, of course, we can have an intelligent, rational debate, rather like the sort that J.S. Mill might have been used to. So it depends perhaps on an informed population. And that might be one weakness in the argument, of course. And Mill was so convinced of this that he made this extraordinary statement in On Liberty, and here we go. "If all mankind minus one were of one opinion, and only one person were of the contrary opinion, mankind would be in no more justified in silencing that one person that he, if he had the power, would be justified in silencing mankind. So that is a strong defence of a minority opinion. And Mill and others cite the scientific revolution, for example, where instead of believing, of course, that we had a flat earth and it was the centre of the universe, that, of course, we are very much not the centre of the universe. We're not the centre of our solar system, we're not the centre of the galaxy, etc. And this realisation through rational discussion and debate means that we get closer to the truth. And this is very important for J.S. Mill, also equally important for our other great liberal philosopher and thinker, Karl Popper, who was writing in the mid-20th century, and he wrote The Open Society and Its Enemies in 2 volumes to defend the core tenets of liberalism, including tolerance. And he argued similarly through trial and error, through what he called falsification, but we don't need to worry about that. Through discussion and debate, we can arrive closer to the truth. And that is why it is essential, from a liberal point of view, to have a large degree of freedom of speech, as large as possible, and to tolerate and listen to and consider counter opinions to one's own. So pluralism is emphasised. However, we do have this problem of the paradox of tolerance, which Karl Popper realised in The Open Society, and other liberal thinkers have realised, because the paradox of tolerance is this: if you have unlimited tolerance, then you're tolerant of those who are intolerant. And if you're tolerant of the intolerant, then there may be the disappearance of tolerance itself. In other words, it threatens society. So as Karl Popper said, the unlimited tolerance must lead to this disappearance of tolerance, he thought logically. So therefore, Karl Popper thought we have a right in a tolerant society to constrain and limit the intolerant. John Rawls also, to an extent, also agreed with Popper on this, and he argued that society has a right to self-preservation when it came to the intolerant. Okay, so this is a crucial question. Freedom of speech is a key part of tolerance, along with freedom of religious thought, of religious conscience, freedom of sexual practices as well. There's an awful lot to be said about this, but I hope that you've now got the key thinkers and the key concepts on tolerance. So thank you for watching.